Alrighty, guys. Good morning. Happy Memorial Day to you guys. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday morning so far. What's up, everybody? Let's go ahead and see who's here for today. We got ourselves Prepper was the first one here. What's up, Prepper? Hope you're doing good. We have Weather now. We have Gaming Gavin. We have Official Art Nirvana. We've had Mr. Man. We have Jill. We have Daisy. Let's see who else. We got Kobe here as well. Let's see. We have Kayla. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Also, I see you too, Gene. Sorry, I missed yours. But anyways, what's up? Hope everyone's doing all right. So, yes, we got a bit of stuff we need to talk about. The tropics kind of heating up a little bit. And just a little FYI for you guys, I believe, well, it's not tomorrow, is it? Hold on a minute. No, the first is the... How many days are in this month? I need to figure this out real quickly. Okay, there's 31 days in this month. So that makes it, if you don't count today, basically 2 days away until hurricane season. Wow. Yeah, it came up on us pretty quick, huh? I mean, it is right on us. And we were literally right at hurricane season. So, just as an FYI, like I said, the system will be causing, or potentially could be causing, some impacts across the southeast. Kind of similar to where this recent system has just driven its way through. As you've probably seen on the intro here, we have, this satellite view of water vapor. The upper level water vapor. You can obviously see a very well-defined, counterclockwise swirl. This was a low-pressure system that did impact the portions of the southeast, and it did bring some gusty winds out there. Like I said, it definitely did bring some gusty winds out there. Now, this next system here, this next system could be a little bit more impactful. Now, we're still in the early models. We're still in the early discussion right now, but we're going to need to watch it, as it is something that has kind of been popping up on the models for the last few runs, and not just one model. A couple of models are actually supporting it themselves. So we're going to go ahead and hop over here to the models, my friends. Once again, if you guys are just joining us, welcome. Hope everyone's doing good out there. Once again, happy Memorial to you guys out there. Thank you all to the people who have served our country. You guys absolutely rock. We love you all. Thank you so much for your service, everybody. Thank you absolutely for the people who have fought and the people who have served this country. Seriously, big thank you goes to you guys. Anyways, but we're going to go ahead and move back over here to the models, because like I said, this is what we need to be looking out for. We're actually going to zoom into the southeast here so we can kind of get a big picture of everything here. All right, so we track way down in time. Obviously, like I said, we have this, kind of remains of this low-pressure system that drove its way through. It was one stronger, but we track way down in time here. So we can move through the May 31st into June 1st, which is the official day of hurricane season, and look at this. What is that? We got a big system that starts popping up here right off the east coast of Florida. Now, according to the model here, this is the GFS, by the way. According to this, we are seeing this thing kind of stall out. Now, once again, this is early talk. This is really early talk between the models, and like I said, at this point, anything's up for grabs. But what I've noticed here is that, like I said, multiple models have indeed supported it. Obviously, this thing continues to track its way down in time. We're going to go ahead and pick it back up here in the North Atlantic view. So there it is right there. It picks its way up here and really kicks up into some strength. And it kind of moves its way off there. So this is obviously, well far out. I don't like to go out this far. But like I said, you can kind of see how it just develops here. So we go to current time. We track way down in time here a little bit. We get this development that starts to occur here. And then it starts moving its way up north. So, we'll need to look at that. Now, let me switch over here to the southeast again, because I want to show you guys the potential winds on this thing. So, as you notice, the winds are really screaming. Let me bring up a pen here so I can actually draw on the screen. That way I can actually kind of point out things a little easier here. But if you look, you might notice how these winds are kind of pointing down to the south a bit. So right there, that in itself is going to likely cause some impacts, especially there towards the coastlines of Florida and the Carolinas. So obviously you guys who lives out in those regions, like Jacksonville, Florida, let's see, we're going to go off across towards like Daytona Beach. I would definitely consider watching out for this here. Yeah, like I said, Jacksonville, Brunswick, Georgia, those regions, Charleston, South Carolina, You know, those areas here, like they could be experiencing some pretty strong winds just off the coast here. Now, due to this will likely cause some swelling and potentially some mild surging. I think that's a good possibility because, like I said, you have the winds that are kind of pushing at the coastline, and that's going to increase the water level because it's pushing all the water to shore. So, with that being said, that's likely going to be something we need to look out for. I mean, like I said, some of these, you know, in the models here, it shows some of the sustained winds there towards the quote-unquote eye wall. I'm going to call it the center of the storm because it's, at this point, it's probably not a hurricane. It's probably definitely not. But the winds here are, you know, estimated by this model to be probably around 40 knots sustained. That's constantly blowing at 40 knots. So that would be around 45, 50 miles per hour. Now, once again, this is still early talk. Anything is up for grabs at the moment. But like I said, this could seriously have some problems. Eventually tracking its way down in time and really, like I said, really starting to kick off there. As you can see how it kind of ramps off, you know, the Carolina coast here. You can kind of see how it really, you know, just ramps off. Like, once again, you can kind of see how this model really has it stalled, too. You know, just kind of sits there for a little bit, picks up some speed, and then kicks its way off. So, like I said, you know, that's definitely something that we need to look out for. So, I'm going to switch you guys back over here to this view, because I do want to show you guys, let's see, I do want to show you guys this model here. This is, let's see, we're going to pop this up real quickly. This is the GEFS model, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and switch you guys back over here. Now, I really want you to pay attention to this. Let's see if I can maybe fit this to maybe fit a little bit better to the screen. Yeah, it's good enough. Good enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loop this. Okay, we're gonna make this thing play here. So if you look it down in time, obviously we got a few of these low pressure systems kicking off, but I want you to pay attention right in here. Okay, remember the GFS showed it kicking off down in here. There you go. Starting to get a lot of lows. A lot of low pressure markers from multiple model runs starting to pop up here. This is similar to what we call a spaghetti. This is actually what we call ensembles. Now, this takes one model and runs it several times. And obviously, you know, you can kind of see how the tracks are all over the place. You know, you can see how in the short range, how they're really close to one another. I mean, that there is a decent amount of, you know, coverage and stuff like that. There's a decent amount of, you know, confidence in the cyclone. But then, like I said, you can see how everything really spreads out here as we move into the early portion of next month. So that is that. You can kind of see how it does, like, really, you know, the density of them really increases out there. Let's see here. Where is this tropical storm going to hit? So at the moment, we don't know. All we know right now is that the models in the recent times have been saying, hey, there might be a pretty strong system that could be impacting portions of the south. Now, from what we know right now, I would likely say, now note, please note this can change, okay? This is not set in stone yet. I want to make that very, very clear. But like I said, right now, the current potentially impacted areas does include the eastern Florida coast, obviously portions here of Georgia's coast, and the Carolina coast, too. I think that could be right where the biggest region is. And like I said, you know, once again, I think the main concern here is going to be those winds there towards the coastline, potentially up to and over tropical storm force. Not really over, but in the tropical storm force category, I should say. So obviously, you know, potentially a mid-range tropical storm according to this model here. But like I said, also, not just the winds, but the swelling of water. I think that's a problem, too. Once again, for Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. So we'll see. We'll see how that happens. And we'll see exactly what this does bring here. Now, another model, such as Icon, we're gonna drop down a run here. You can kind of see in the latest portion here, you look at that. So kind of for the second, third, fourth, and fifth, how this model actually kind of supports this system, kicking up strength in the Gulf of Mexico and tracking this way. That's what's interesting. Y'all see that? So once again, I'll go ahead and play this in motion for you guys so you can kind of see it, right? So watching the Gulf, you see that little low pressure system, how it's rotating counterclockwise, track way down in time. This thing apparently has it going right over Florida at this point for June 4th, being right over Florida. And as we move our way down in time for like, early June 5th, once again, you can see those winds really battering against the coastline. And once again, that would likely bring some, mild flooding, potentially some coastal flooding, maybe some mild surges could occur. And like I said, obviously, potentially have tropical storm force winds. I think that's a good possibility. Now, I will mention, here at the current moment being, the National Hurricane Center has nothing out on this. Now, the reason they don't the reason they don't have anything out there on this is because confidence is still kind of unknown right now. But like I said, as we did see from the, what was that model we just looked at? We looked at the GEFS, that's right. The GEFS, we looked at the ICON model as well as we looked at the GFS. And like I said, all of them do support this system, once again, to potentially, according to GFS, it kind of has it developing right off the eastern coast of Florida. But like I said, ICON kind of shows it developing in the Gulf and then tracking over Florida and up this way. Now, like I said, right now, what the GFS model was talking about is how the system potentially could kind of roll off and just kind of get caught in the center of the Atlantic. So, we'll see. Anyways. But yeah, so once again, everybody, this is just something we're going to need to look out for the next few days. And we'll keep an eye on it, as this very well could be the first tropical system for the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. So, we'll have to see how this continues to materialize. Now, I will take a minute to switch you guys over here to the Storm Prediction Center because, now, nothing really crazy is going on here on the SPC. Let's go ahead and switch you guys over to a better view so you guys can actually see this a little better. So today we have a really large marginal risk. So there's a potential for severe weather across areas here of Nebraska, portions of South Dakota, northeastern Colorado, and northwestern Kansas today. There's a small chance, a marginal level 1 out of 5 percentage of seeing some severe weather for today. Good news, tornadoes, not a concern. Not expected to see any tornado activity. So that's definitely some good news. Damaging wind probability, that's a 5% chance. Same thing for hail, 5% chance. So once again, small chance for maybe some large hail, maybe some damaging wind gusts. Tomorrow kind of breaks up into two different risks across, Minnesota, Nebraska, once again, Kansas, even Panhandle, Oklahoma, and northwestern Panhandle of Texas, and eastern Colorado. Tornadoes not a concern. Once again, damaging winds and hail kind of a main concern. Actually, it's only a hail threat for Minnesota for tomorrow. Then the day after, once again, kind of the same area. It's been really weird because it's like in the last several days, it's like the models have been real, or not just the models, but Mother Nature in general has been really throwing off a lot of severe weather here just east of the Rockies. Kind of an odd trend. And this has been happening for well over a week now, essentially. And obviously anything in the extended range, we're not expecting anything as of right now. So in terms of severe weather, my friends, right now, it's not really looking so hot. So obviously there's really no big systems heading its way here right now. Essentially that's why we really haven't been live too much recently, is because there's just not really much going on, honestly. But like I said, with this happening, this is something we're going to need to watch out for. Now, I might I may go back live later tonight, like late tonight, maybe around slightly before midnight. I might go back live, and we'll talk about the updates. So, like I said, it's a possibility. I might. If not, I'll go live tomorrow. And obviously give you guys an update as well. But anyways, that is that. Let's see here. An old Southern joke. A tornado hit a trailer park yesterday. Did $5 million in improvements. That's pretty funny. That's a good joke. Here you go. Once again, you can actually see here how ICON, this is actually in the past, by the way. You can see how it says negative 30-something hours. That was this first system that rolled through. Like I said, obviously the second system, you can see how potentially much larger the second system could be. It's a little bit more broad, so could be impacting more areas. That's a good possibility out there. And like I said, looking back right now on the current satellite view at the moment, once again, you can actually still see the remains of that currently circulating over South Carolina as well. Oh, wow, look at that. That is crazy looking. Yeah, you can see right there. There's the outlines of South Carolina State. This is a water vapor scan. You can really see that circulation pivoted right over central South Carolina. Pretty cool. And like I said, obviously, out of this next system or this next potential system, we could have those areas impacted again. Once again, kind of more towards the coastlines with the heaviest impacts and stuff. Let's see here. Going on the cruise, third. Now I'm worried. Crystal, are you going to Bahamas or something? Are you going out in the Caribbean? Because like I said, that's kind of where the models are hinting the system. And once again, you can obviously see Florida here. Like I said, obviously the model's have been kind of picking up a low, maybe tracking over Florida too. I've seen that as a possibility. Probably wouldn't do anything significant on the west coast of Florida. If it did happen, it would likely be impacting more of the east coast of Florida. Like I said, as a low-pressure system would be battering winds towards the coastline. So it'd be rotating counterclockwise and battering winds potentially towards the coastline, which might cause, once again, maybe some mild swelling of the water could occur. Let's see here. Yes, Nassau. Okay, so you're going to be out in the tropics then. Oh, man. I think... Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to go and show you this real quickly. Here's back in the model. So here's the GFS. Nassau, I'm not exactly sure where that's at, but here's the Bahamas right here. And you can actually see how on the southern flank, we might be getting some of those easterlies going over you at the tail end. This is for the 5th. You said you're going on the 3rd. Yeah, that's the thing, is that this system forms on the 3rd. I mean, look, time in the top right, you guys can actually see that. This thing forms on the 3rd here. So, like I said, you probably should keep an eye on it, Crystal. Just a little FYI for you. And look at this frame. Wow. This is showing for like the June 4th, for later on this week. How strong the winds are battering the west here. Once again, that's going to be causing even rip currents. I haven't even mentioned that. When you get the winds pulling, right there parallel with the coastline, that's going to create, kind of suction in the water, in which that could easily pull you away from the coast. So, I think even rip currents could be a problem, potential swelling and heavy winds. I think that's a good possibility. But yeah, so that's what's going on. Let's try FV3. I don't think this model goes too far now. It's only got 60 frames out. 60 hours out, I should say. Not too far. But yeah, you know what? I'm curious to see what the ECMWF model. Now, this is something that I've actually not looked at real quickly. I have not looked at the European model's perspective on this. I've looked at Icon, all these other models, but I really haven't looked much at the European ECMWF here. Let's see. Truck way down in time. Yeah, there you go. Now, here's the difference. So the European model kind of shows it kicking more out into the ocean. Kicking out more into the Atlantic. So, with that being said, yeah, it really just goes to show you how much inconsistencies are there right now. Speaking of, what the heck is going on there? According to the European model, kind of shows a squall line here towards northern Texas. I'm gonna grab a quick little sounding. I'm curious to see where this is gonna happen. Yeah, I don't know. We'll watch it. We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, I mean, once again, it's never good to look at just one model, but that's a pretty interesting squall. Let's see. What's up, Court? Saying, where is this? So, this is going to be happening. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and switch you back over here. Back to the GFS, the American model. And you can see as we track way down in time, it's going to be happening. So, here's Florida. This is going to be impacting the East Coast. So, obviously out towards, areas towards, like, what was it? Oh, shoot. Where's that at? By Kennedy Space Center. Around those regions, obviously right along the coast of those areas, probably should be watching this. Now, once again, this is probably not going to be a hurricane, at least as of now. It's not forecast to be, but it would likely have some big coastal effects. Now, you being inland, Court, you probably won't have any impacts on this, really. Maybe some gusty winds, maybe up to 25 miles per hour out of that week. Nothing too crazy. Let's see, when? This is expected, according to this American model, expected to pop off here kind of starting on the 3rd, as you can see at the top right. kind of starting on June 3rd, and then obviously really kind of ramping. Now the bad thing is about this system is that it just stays there for like a day. I mean, you could basically see here between more than a day, really. Starting on the 3rd, goes through the 4th, through the 5th, through the 6th, and out on the 7th. So it's literally there. Literally there for like 3 days. It's just going to be sitting there. So there's going to be like no wind shear. Obviously, from its steering motion of it not really going anywhere, it's going to show that there's really no wind shear to shred it apart. But like I said, it really picks up in strength once it moves its way off the mid-Atlantic coast. You know, just east of, once the center of the eye is same latitudinal line as basically northeastern North Carolina, essentially. But yeah. Let's see, I got auditions on the 6th. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, it should. Yeah, it's going to be there on the 6th. I think you'll be all right. I think you'll be totally all right. Yeah, I really don't think it's anything you should worry about. Like I said, you know, this is mostly a coastal effector. So like I said to my friends in the east coast of Florida, you know, towards like Daytona Beach, out towards, you know, I'd even say possibly as far down south as like Port St. Lucie. I don't think it's going to be as far down south as Fort Lauderdale. I think those areas towards Miami might just be in the clear because of Florida's geography. Kind of pulls back in a little bit. I think that could help the cases towards, you know, like Miami and Fort Lauderdale and those regions. I think they'll be all right there. Mostly like the east central. I'd say mostly the east central coastline of Florida would be the heaviest impacted areas. I mean, like I said, right on the models right now, you can see how these winds are really screaming there towards the west. So, what about Savannah? Right there in Georgia. Gotcha. So, yeah, like I said, Savannah, you would likely have some coastal impacts in terms of the potential of rip currents. I think that's a big possibility. I'd say maybe even up to tropical storm force winds. I think that could be a possibility. And like I said, obviously, you know, other issues, maybe some moderate, or I wouldn't say, sorry, mild swelling could occur. Yeah. I think that's a possibility. I really do think that is a good potential. But anyways, that's that, my friends. Once again, just wanted to update y'all on the situation here. Once again, we'll probably be going live here again. I'm going to try tonight. We'll see how that goes. If not, it'll be tomorrow morning. Okay. Any impacts for Columbia, South Carolina? It depends if you're on the coast. Really, the entire coast of South Carolina should watch this, but if you're inland, then, like I said, this is mostly going to have an coastal effect. Do I think we're going to lose power? It's still unknown. Like I said, there's still a lot of where and wins and hows right now. The models are still kind of hopping all over the place. But like I said, what the main thing is between all these models is the fact that they all say it's going to happen. That's all the models. But we'll see. Let's see. Weather Channel will hype this up. Storm of the century. Yeah, probably. That's how a lot of these, unfortunately, it's how a lot of people are. Whenever it comes to, you know, weather and stuff like that. A lot of people like to overstate what's expected. But anyways. All right, my friends. Well, I tell you what, I think we're going to call it for now. Like I said, we've been live here for about a half hour. Pretty good morning update. You know, I figured you guys got some things you got to do and stuff like that since it's morning, it's Monday morning, stuff like that. But I just wanted to hop on here and say hello because I haven't seen you guys in a few days. And obviously, I wanted to tell you about this because, yeah, this could be something to watch out for. So we will need to watch out for it. Alrighty, guys. Well, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to join our Discord. We have our Discord down in the description. Go ahead and take a look at that. Also, if you guys do enjoy it, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Maybe share this with a friend or family member, as well as hit that like button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys would like to support our channel even more, like I said, we do have our donation link there in the description, or the Cash App tag, I should say. It'd be greatly appreciated if any of you guys would like to support the channel and help us out. It'd be greatly appreciated. Alrighty, well, we're going to go ahead and head off now. Like I said, stream's going to head off here in 2 minutes. So if you guys have anything you want to say to your friends and family, go ahead and say goodbye in the chat. Until next time, my friends, we'll be here later on potentially tonight. Once again, I might be live tonight, and it'll be later tonight. Maybe. We'll see how that goes. If not late tonight, we'll do it early tomorrow morning. Okay, we'll be back live here. I'd say more likely tomorrow morning. So, all right, y'all. Once again, we love you. Please stay safe out there. Once again, stream's heading off here in 2 minutes. And alrighty, well, you guys stay safe, and we'll keep you up informed in this situation here, and I'll keep you guys posted. All right, y'all. Once again, see y'all later. Happy Memorial Day. Once again, thank you to all who served. You guys rock. We love you. And all right, my friends, we'll peace out. Catch you guys later on.
Seas around 2 feet this morning, then 1 foot or less. Tonight, north winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Tuesday, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet in the morning, then 1 foot or less. Tuesday night, north winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming northeast after midnight. Seas 1 foot or less. Isolated thunderstorms. Isolated showers in the evening, then scattered showers after midnight. Wednesday, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Scattered showers with isolated thunderstorms. Wednesday night, east winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Numerous showers with isolated thunderstorms. Thursday, southeast winds around 10 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Numerous showers with isolated thunderstorms. Thursday night, east winds around 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Numerous showers with isolated thunderstorms. Friday, northeast winds around 10 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Isolated thunderstorms. Numerous showers, mainly in the morning. Winds and seas higher and near thunderstorms. The Fort Myers climate summary for yesterday, May 28, 2023. Yesterday's temperature was 91 degrees. This had the normal high of 91. The record high is 98 degrees, which was set in 1953. Yesterday's low temperature was 71 degrees.